here now with Jeff Finley at another beautiful property. So we're in North Clovis. Jeff Finley is the owner of California Turf and Landscaping.
Hello.
So this is a pre-planned development. Right. And so when I was driving in, I was like, oh, this is an interesting place for him to do a project because the front yards are very small and they all look kind of identical. But then the backyard. So tell us about this project.
Sure, and that's what happens in a lot of these developments. They come with a finished front yard and just a big dirt backyard. And so customers come in, they get into the home, and some of the HOAs have a rule where they've got to get the backyard done within 6 months.
Oh, okay.
We've seen some of that. This one didn't have that, but so they want to get it done because they're dealing with now dirt, you know, a nice, clean, fresh home, and dirt. And if they have animals or anything like that, it becomes such a mess. So they call us. We get a lot of these calls, and they say, come take a look and tell us what you think and give us some ideas. And so that was the story with this project. Homeowner called and said, we've got a couple ideas, but we're interested in maybe some other ones. So I came out and walked around, and we just have a conversation. It's how, what do you want to do with it? How do you entertain? Do you have animals? What are you thinking? What do you like? What do you not like? And then we kind of piece something together, just kind of sketch out a little bit of something so they can understand, get the flow. A lot of these new developments, actually, they've done an interesting job of grading where backyards of the neighbors are higher than theirs.
Oh, right.
So if they don't do something about that slope, it can kind of look funky. So we end up doing a lot of these retaining type walls and just build a raised planter. And it's a way to deal with that elevation change. And it ends up doing so much more than that. I mean, it's beautiful as well. It adds additional seating that they can, you know, entertain back here. So now when you've got people back here and you're talking or sitting at their hot tub or wherever, it's just, you know, 40 additional feet of people being able to just put a drink down and have a seat and have a conversation. Much more usable space. Yeah,
it's a pretty small backyard. But you could fit 50 people back here.
Oh, I think so for sure. The way they had us lay it out and just what they've done here, you've got different areas they could utilize, and this family has kids as well, so they wanted some big open spaces for them to play cornhole or whatever else they wanted to do and be able to. And you've got that space here. So really, as much as it's a small yard, it's totally usable in so many ways.
Every space is usable. What I really like is this side yard here that a lot of people will just use to like lean stuff up against their house.
Right.
But this is all usable space right here.
Totally. And like with the kids thing, I mean, they can drop a couple of spike ball nets, have friends over, and all be playing in this big open grass space. And it's just a place to have fun and not feel like you're cramped in. And enjoy what you've got. I mean, these new homes, when you move into a new home, it's exciting. So you want all that excitement to kind of carry out into all of your space. And when you put a backyard together like this, you get that kind of feel. Right. And this is a great entertainment sort of layout. So they've had a lot of fun here and have been enjoying it and have given us really great feedback.
So what ideas did they come with that came through in the final design?
They talked about wanting the wall. They wanted us to split the wall to be able to put the fountain back there, the water feature, and they wanted a fire feature. They wanted, through their big double pane doors, to be able to look out and look through the fire feature and see the water on the back side. So that's something they kind of had in their mind from the beginning, and everything else we just kind of powwowed and figured out together, and it came together really well.
And you put all turf in.
This is all synthetic grass, and and some people don't. It's not for them, and that's okay. But for those that like it or aren't opposed to it, you just can't beat the fact that it's always green. It doesn't require any maintenance. I mean, it's just easy to walk on. Your dogs or pets aren't going to carry any dirt into the house. It just keeps it super clean. And
that was the very first thing that I'm very neurotic about things, and the first thing I noticed when I turned the corner is everything is clean. I mean, this is a new development, so they're surrounded by houses, but there are dirt lots. They're just over that way.
Lots of dust.
And there is no dust in this backyard. I mean, there's nothing.
Yeah, dust
Even
blows
the furniture is dust-free, and that's probably because every inch of space back here is covered with something. So are you guys responsible for, you know, that like 2 or that foot up against the house, are you guys responsible for coming up for a plan for that?
Yeah, I mean, when they come to us, we really want to have the whole thing laid out for them, and talk through all the spaces. And this is an example. When you get when you're able to see the side, that space along that house, we did that intentionally because of a couple of things they had going on that they wanted the space open for.
It's so smart.
It just worked itself out pretty well. And I mean, they come together like this. People think this is, sometimes it's overwhelming to people, but it doesn't need to be. A little bit of conversation and just understand what you like and don't like, and the way you plan to use the space. We can sketch something out and kind of get some flow and understand, things that we could do or have available to us as options. And people can pick, oh, I like that, I don't like that, and we just have conversation and piece it together.
And I think that's what happens when you use a professional. If you were trying to do this yourself and piecemeal it together, so find somebody to put in turf, find somebody to lay concrete, find somebody to put in a fire feature, it can be very overwhelming.
Oh yeah.
But there really isn't a project that you guys haven't seen, so all of the options that you might be able to pull from.
Well, that's the thing too. When you try to piece it together yourself, you got to make sure you cover everything. That means getting all your stubs into the places where once the concrete's laid, you can't get back into it. Once the wall's in, you can't get back into the right way. So it's having the foundational stuff set, understanding it, setting it up, and that way when the building happens, it happens, the way it's supposed to, in a sequence that makes sense and works.
Yeah, the sequence is key as somebody who DIY'd her kitchen. So if people want to get in touch with California Turf and Landscaping, maybe they've got a dirt lot, because there are tons of homes around here. They've got a dirt lot. They want you guys to come in. How can they get in touch with you? How do they start the process?
Give us a call. I mean, call our main line or go to our website. Send us a message there. They can see a lot of our work. Our website has a lot of our pictures of our work and just see things. And sometimes they get ideas from that, and they can go, okay, well, I like this kind of setup for this area, and then they did this over here, and that would be nice as well. And so they can get ideas and then have a better kind of conversation when they call. But even if you have zero idea whatsoever, just call. I'll come out, or one of us will come out, have a conversation, talk our way through it, and put something together for you. And we itemize all the quotes so people see what all the pieces cost, and they can sometimes phase it in. Hey, if this is over their budget, they can go, well, let's do these 3 or 4 things that are my most important things, and then they know, okay, they got to save some more to be able to get the rest of them done. And so that works out like that sometimes too.
Well, you make the process sound so simple, and I've talked to a whole bunch of your customers who say the process is really simple, headache-free. So we have all the information on our website and there at the bottom of your screen. Jeff Finley, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Matters to you and to KC24. That's